Well, obviously, congratulations to Nebraska. I thought it was a really hard-fought game. Two teams giving everything they had, right? It was really physical. Both teams competing like crazy. Kids on both teams making great plays and fighting. It was a typical kind of Big Ten battle. And give them credit. They really hurt us early in the first half. I thought our defense wasn't where it needed to be. And when your defense isn't where it needs to be against this team, they're going to make you look bad, and so, for them to shoot 70% the first half, that was a big story of the game. Then they came out in the second half, and kind of the first 4 minutes, it was much of the same. And, we just told our guys, we were, I think, down 11 or 12 at that point, I think 11, and it was a timeout. And I just said, hey, this is, you're on the road, and this is a point right now where you either decide we're going to fight back as a group and get ourselves back in this thing, or you're just going to let them run away from us. And I thought the rest of the game we played really well. I thought our defense got physical. We were able to generate some turnovers. We were able to take away their they had, I think, 22 points in the paint in the first half. And then Alec was really hurting us. We were able we made a little bit of a adjustment on the matchups, which I thought kind of helped out, slowing him down. And then all things being considered, to be down one with the under 4 timeout, I told our guys, we're on the road in a tough environment against a really good team. We're down 1. It's right there for us. And, give them credit. And I thought we had some good looks. We had one of our best guys, Langborg's at the free throw line. He misses a free throw that would have tied it. We then got a really nice pull-up jumper. That's kind of his money shot. It just went in and out. Ty Berry had a 3 that was in and out. And that happens offensively. And we needed to get that one last stop, 52 seconds to go. And we cut it to 2. And, give them credit. We had a miscommunication. They cut so hard. You have to communicate so well when you play against Nebraska because of how hard they cut and how hard they move and how much they share the ball. And we had just a little bit of a communication area. There was a back screen on the back side, and it was supposed to be a switch. One guy switched, one didn't, and that's all Casey needs. And give him credit. He stepped up. And even if you have a mishap, you still got to step up and make a shot. And he did that, which gave him the 5-point lead. And, obviously that was kind of game there. So Nebraska's a good team. A lot of respect for what they're doing. Just stings because it's really hard to win on the road in this league, right? So when you're right there with a couple minutes to go in a one-possession game, you want to try to find a way to steal it. And we just weren't able to do that this afternoon.
I think when it was 65-64 Nebraska, you had like 2 or 3 shots where you had to feel like if one of those go down, maybe that was the tipping point.
Yeah, we just could never get the lead, right? We, I thought Ryan got a great, he drove a closeout, got right to about 10 feet, had a great shot. Ty had a 3 at the top of the key that was in and out. I didn't see it. He thought he got hit, but you can't rely on a call at that point in the game, but it was in and out on a 3. And then, Casey steps up and makes one, so sometimes when 2 teams are battling like that and it's hard to score, sometimes a player has to just step up and make a shot. And today Nebraska's guys did that, and give them credit for that.
What was the plan coming in for how you were going to defend Casey?
Well, you just have to try to keep the best you can. You got to try to keep your body on him. If you give him space, he's such a good cutter. You can't really go under any of those screens because with his range, he's going to step back. You got to try to chase him, try to make him be a 2. And he made a couple like those flying hook shots, right? I think the key with him, because of his cutting, can you take away his layups and then his 3s, right? And can you make him be a floater shooter or a pull-up jump shooter? And and we lost him a couple times, obviously the 2 3s he made. But I thought most of the shots he took today were kind of what we wanted. Those floaters, flying hook shots. And he made a couple of them, which, you got to tip your cap to.
Bowie and Berry were combined 4 of 25. Was that just an off day for them, or was that more of a product of what Nebraska was doing?
Yeah, I thought a little bit, probably both. It's always there's another team, so I don't want to diminish. But I thought those guys got some looks, and Boo's been so good. But I thought he got, especially from the 3-point line, he's a really good. I thought he got some looks, and then some of his floaters, right, that are his. That's his patented shot. I thought he got to his floater. He had a couple that just kind of rimmed out on him. He just never could kind of see the ball go in the hole. But same thing with Ty. high. I thought he got some pretty good looks, but that's basketball, and certainly the defense has a lot to do with that as well. So give credit to their defense for doing a good job on those two guys.
There's been a lot made about Nebraska's struggles on the road, but you've talked a lot about how difficult it is to win away from home in this conference.
Yeah.
From your evaluation, is this Nebraska team better than maybe what they've shown in some of their road struggles?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a big fan of what Fred does. I think he's a terrific coach, and they've always been really hard to guard, but you watch them this year, and especially in this building, there's a grit to them. There's an unselfishness. You can see it's a connected group, and when you get in these environments, it's a great home court. Great fan base. They're cheering for their team, so you get that support, and you have a connected group that's playing with confidence. And I think the two of us, I saw a stat the other day, which was crazy. Like, we're two of the winningest teams, since like the last month of the season. If you look, I think it was Purdue, and I think it was then like us in Nebraska. So you have two kind of teams that have maybe in past years been kind of in that bottom four, kind of trying to fight, and now have seen some success. So you see confidence. You see some confidence. You see those guys that they've now won games where they believe they can do it, and they got a good group. They got, obviously we'll get a chance to play them again at our place, I think, later in the season, but I knew this was going to be a really good team. He's done the two guys they brought in, Williams and Mast, have been great additions, just veteran guys who are winners and play really well and fit their system really good. So I have a lot of respect for this team. I knew it was going to be a really tough game, and that's why it's disappointing, because we were right there. That's why it hurts. We didn't play our best, but then at the end, you're down one, and you got a chance, and you got to try to figure out a way, to throw in a couple shots, get a couple stops, and maybe steal it, and we just weren't able to do it.
Any more for Coach?
All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.